This is Max, the musician's friend. We're here at Winter NAMM 2019, and we were chatting with Andy from Akai. We're looking at the exciting new Akai Force. Andy, you want to tell us what excites you about this thing?
Yeah, so where do I start? Force really takes the Akai workflow into a whole new market. And the thing is with Force, it's all about patterns, clip launching, the matrix. And the thing is, we've come very accustomed to that kind of workflow. So what it does, it allows not just electronic producers, not just guys making hip hop, it covers all types of different producers, live performers, vocalists, everything, because you've got all of your performance at your fingertips. So when you combine that with everything that we do with like drums, step sequencing, the product can do so much for so many different people. And already we've been overwhelmed with the kind of response that we've had online since we launched like 10 days ago. We have built-in synths, we have time stretching, pitch shifting, we can handle all of this audio information, we've got high-end effects that came from the Pro Tools by Air Technology. And when you combine all this stuff into like a standalone product, right, it takes the things that people wanted to do that were kind of virtually impossible to a whole new market now. So it's a really exciting period for us.
So kind of speaking of this changing workflow, or at least where the workflow's changed, as you dug into it, did you find like any happy surprises or?
Well, I look after all of the content for Akai. So I do all the MPC expansion packs, I deal with all sound design. So when I started to create a lot of stuff for this, it kind of all fell into place of how I can start using a lot of sample-based stuff, because a lot of people use melodic samples now. We got Splice Integration in here, so you can literally synchronize your Splice library, start populating loops onto the pads, and then go into your drum mode, do finger drumming, record those as a pattern. Or if you're an electronic guy, you go straight into step sequencer. You've got that kind of 808 grid layout because of the matrix, right? And then if you want to then go into notes mode and start playing notes, do chords, progressions, you've got all of these things, which is like one touch. So you're always creating. You don't have to stop and think, right, now I need to do this. And that is the one thing that everybody has noticed, is how seamless all of these different workflows are that everybody's kind of using now, but you can't do it live. Like if I'm a DJ, right, I can now stem out all my music from my DAW, put it straight into here and go and perform live and mash up my track instantly without thinking in one menu. If I'm a live performer or a vocalist like we've seen today, I can play my tracks, I can bring in my backing vocals. If I'm a guitarist, I can play all my parts as a looper, sing all my melodies. It's a design that caters for every kind of live aspect of making music, which isn't just going out there live, it's the creative process of making things on the spot. And I think that's one of the parts that I love so much.
Very cool. Do you want to show us what you can do with it?
Yeah, certainly. What I've got here, I've loaded up a demo project, and instantly you can see everything's split into tracks, okay? So I've got drum loops, I've got percussion loops, I've got synth, got vocals, bass line. So now I can kind of launch this however I want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with my intro. So nice piano, has a kind of a mood to it. Bring the next part. So again, this is going back to all types of live performers, just one touch. And the next element of the drums come in, but everything is aligned to how you want to program, okay? Vocals start coming in, and then we'll go to now we can start. You just break it down all in real time. Maybe we just have the kick coming in. So that one track has got different types of drums, all from the same drum track. Bring this in. So it's so seamless to be able to just do some simple things like that. Then we go into we can go into our knobs section. So when I go into knobs, I can go into projects, and with projects you can start controlling kill switches. crossfade. Bring it up. And where you want to go. Back in. And then you can decide when you want to bring the drums on the crossfade or flick the drums. Kill. And that's just doing stuff with like one hand, just showing how seamless things can be. Now, other things that we can do, so let's kind of break the project down a little bit, okay? So let's mute some of this stuff and we'll go to the drums, okay? So this is running on, this is loops, all right? So each track, all I've done is just populated different styles of loops, just like that. I can go into the clip and I can see the actual file itself. I can set how I want to launch it as well. You know, we have a global quantize that follows everything that I can do on my hop kind of buttons down here. I can hold shift and say, oh, I want to launch it on a 1 bar or a quarter bar, etc., etc. Or you can go into the loops individually and assign them and trigger them how you want, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come back out of the matrix, okay? And we're going to go over to percussion kit. Now this is super cool because this is all on the step sequencer. So now we're in the electronic world, okay? We're not launching loops, but we've got some accompaniment in the back. So there's my clap. I'm just going to take all these out in real time, right? So now let's mess with this. Different, and what I can do on the left-hand side, sorry, on the right-hand side, I've got my velocity levels, right, from 1 to 128. So I can change these up, or I can hit the pads, go back to my. And we could take this clap, okay, use that as a fill, and now that's on a clip, right? So I could actually delete that clip, copy that clip, right? And then go back into that clip and take out my claps and maybe just have them there and then bounce between those two clips in real time just by using the step sequencer. But what also is super cool, if I go to load, and I go to my content, go to drums, and I go to, let's do deep house, okay? So let's go deep, go there, press, do it. Now I've got a bunch of drum kits that I can use to kind of just create a completely different vibe. So if I put on my auto, bring that down a little bit, it's not too loud. So let's use that one, it's pretty cool. I load that up. So now, everything that's going to be playing on this is going to be that vibe. So we can go into the step sequencer. And the thing about step sequencing, it's all about kind of just getting to the whole rhythm of it, of what you're doing.
Well, Andy, thank you so much for showing us the new Force. Can you tell us when we're going to expect this to be available?
Yep, so Force is going to be available early February.
Excellent, thank you. And if you want to learn more and order yours, head to musiciansfriend.com.